Welcome. Today I'm going to show you how to relieve knee pain with a simple Tai Chi and Qigong exercise. I'm Susan Thompson, Occupational Therapist, and my goal is to bring you healing and happiness. It's important that you have a visual reference as we begin this exercise, because 90% of what we're going to be doing is in our minds, and maybe even 95%. Only a small percentage is done on a physical level. So if you have the visual in your mind, you have a better chance of being able to implement these principles and this strategy to reduce your knee pain and any other joint pain for that matter. I want you to have kind of a visual representation of your ankle. And so when we do this exercise, we're going to create a little bit of space there in the ankle. So we're going to lift off and create space. Now we're not doing this physically. Again, we're doing it with our mind. So you have to have a visual of what that's like, of the ankle creating space in that ankle joint. Now our ankle joint doesn't have that ball, so it would be truly a space that we're creating. Okay, then the next would be the knee. Now I'm not going to dislocate his knee, but same thing. That you're lifting off the knee. That's an articulating joint, and that we're kind of lifting and getting space in between those two articulating joints by use of our mental imagery. And then the hip joint, we're going to open up that hip joint as well. That's the journey we're going to take, so let's go ahead and give it a try. Every time you move into pain, it's like having an open wound that is just scabbed over, and you keep hitting it and you keep knocking that scab back off. Whether it's inside your body or outside your body, we need to let that area have environment for healing. We promote that by respecting what our body is telling us and not pushing into pain. As we move through this very simple Tai Chi exercise and Qigong exercise, please listen to your body. Listen to your body more than you're listening to me. Let's get in our Tai Chi stance, which is shoulder width apart. We're going to sit down a little bit on a chair behind you. You might feel a lot of pressure on your heels. That means that you're a little bit too far behind. What I would like for you to do is just imagine that your toes are lengthening, 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 all the way in front of you to the point that they're touching the baseboards. Now you will feel that you are more balanced and have equal pressure at the bottom of your feet. Now we're going to song our joints in our body. And that word song in Chinese means to relax, but with an internal structure. We aren't going to use our muscles to do this. We're going to use our mind to open joints and give us pain relief and joint relief. As you're sitting there and you've equalized your feet, we're going to go through our body one joint at a time. Let's start at our feet. And I want you to imagine that your toes are still growing very long. They're growing on the ground towards me. And your heels are growing back behind you. Now we're going to go to the shin bone. I want you to begin imagining your lower leg having those arrows, this arrow going down and this arrow going up as you lengthen that lower leg. So let's try that. Both legs at the same time. That bone's getting longer and longer and longer by lengthening in both directions at the same time. Very nice. Now you'll do the same thing with the femur. So imagine dividing your thigh bone in half. This one's going down, this one's going up and beyond the quad. You've already lengthened the lower leg, and now do the thighs. That's very nice. I love teaching this stuff because I feel it too. It's like a new discovery for me every time as well. Yeah, nice. Now I would like for you to go down to your ankle and imagine that you're gathering space there at the ankle. Like the lower leg bone is lifting off. Now it's still lengthening, but it's lifting off the ankle, giving a little breathing space there, as it were. So visualize that. Yes, very nice. Now, the same thing at the knee. Imagine that the knee joint is opening and you're creating more and more space at the knee joint. Then we'll move all the way up to the hip joint. And that one's a little more challenging because it is a large joint. We get a lot of what's called proprioceptive feedback there. But go ahead and pretend that you can just open that joint, that you can feel the bone sinking out of the socket, creating space in your hip joint. Now your lower body is in song. Your hamstrings back here, let them hang on this scaffolding that you have now created. Yep. Let go, let go, let go. And your butt muscles, let them go. I know it's counterintuitive. Yeah. Now your ankle joints are open. Your knee joint is open, your hip joints. If you want, you can go all the way up the spine and imagine each vertebrae and see it in your mind's eye and create a little bit of space in between each so that the disc has a reprieve from gravity. Remember, you're not doing it physically. Some of you might start to feel some tingling and warmth, and that's chi flow. If you don't feel that, that's okay. Very nice. Go ahead and we'll gather chi as we circulate any of that stagnant chi. Let's just get it to move all through the body. Yeah. Now you can kind of assess what's your joints feeling like. Did you have a drop in your pain, some pain relief in your knees or your hips or whatever joint that you were trying to address? And just practice that a little bit. Maybe 30 seconds or a minute. You don't even have to do it as long as we did. Lengthening the bones first in both directions and then opening the joints. Woo, I really feel it. Yeah. Now, also, don't be surprised if you have an injury or something you're dealing with that maybe the first couple times you actually feel a slight increase before you start to feel pain relief. The increase won't last, maybe just a few seconds or a minute or so. It's almost as if the chi is going to that area and your body's fighting it a little bit. If it becomes very uncomfortable, of course, listen to your body, reposition, shake it out, maybe try it again, and if it doesn't work for you, then a different time in the day or a different day. So that's it. It's not a huge amount of fancy movements. It's just practicing opening up your joints. I've had patients that have hand pain, and I teach them how to, with song, open up the joints in their hands, and they get immediate relief. Don't underestimate the power of this very simple exercise to relieve your knee pain. Thank you for joining me, and if you like this video or you'd like for me to make a video on a particular topic or pain point, please let me know in the comments below, and I'll do my best to do that for you. As always, if you enjoyed it, please hit that subscribe button and click like. Thanks for being here, and hope to see you again. So your ankle joint, if you've never really kind of looked at it, of course, Tai Chi Tom's not necessarily anatomically correct, especially today since he's missing an arm.